All right, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets. It is Halloween, so I can, as my wife would say, take off the mask. It's really not a mask, it's my real face. But I don't know why she married me. It was a bad mask. I digress. It is October 31st, but the more important, this being Monday, as earnings we had, the big four. I think there's about 88%. It was some percent. The majority of companies that reported that mattered. I know some real trickling in this week, but you had Apple, Microsoft, uh, Amazon. Actually, it's just you had a lot of them in the moving markets right now. You know what? They're actually playing correctionally rotational, how they should, if they will, and I'll expand on that a little bit more. But one thing that Coach and I I'll sign into TradeGATEHub here, and here's our TradeView market site, is that when we gave a little, as was Coach was extremely bullish, and as a matter of fact, he yelled at people. It was a step short of yell at people to buy the IWM. And if you want to go back and hear that, and I suggest you should, because it's not only that he was right, it's about why he was right. You know what I mean? It's also when a trader of 30 plus years, I'm going on 27, gives an opinion, it's a high level opinion. And I'm wrong a lot. Well, overall, I'm wrong 6% of the time. Yeah. So if you would say that, so it's not about how I'm wrong. It's not about being wrong. It's about staying wrong. But it's also knowing why. And it's not just like if you ask, you go to the racetrack with your wife and you ask her what horse she likes, and she says she likes the 7 horse, and you go, okay, I'll bet the 7. You come back and said, why you like the horse? And you said the horse looked pretty, instead of actually making something concrete. But you get the picture. Okay. So last week we said earnings was going to be more prevalent than the Fed. This is Monday morning, the Fed this Wednesday, and on TradeGATEHub, I did post, more importantly, you should, and I asked you to pin this. I never really get this aggressive in asking you to. Here's the data on the week ahead. Monday morning is always the most important morning with TradeGATEHub, because it's about quality, not quantity, but it's about data that trickles out throughout the week. And when you remember these, it's almost like muscle memory. I also post these, my data almost in exact order, if you will. I'm not going to promise it, but I just want to get to more routine. You see athletes basketball players, when they make layups, and they make layups for 30 minutes, 30 minutes for a shoot around. They've been making layups their whole, million. So the reason why they do that is because once they warm up and get the fundamentals down, when it comes time to game time, or when something's on the line, you don't have to worry about bending your elbow or boom, you could fire. And that's why I make things even in order, so to make it easier for everybody to absorb. I don't get that many complaints at all. I don't get many complaints at all about the data that I put up. So I'll continue to do it in the same way. Okay, Monday morning. Happy trading and happy Halloween. Thank you, Gold. I'm glad you had a nice trip overseas. Well done for what I'm here, Gerard. Thank you for posting. This is our macro view. Okay. So Coach and I were discussing on the videos, and I was meant to make a point there. I probably went off a tangent. My nephew here, Jack, if he's watching, he tells me to kind of stay on the topic, because I got so many screens, people are beeping. I want to make my point. Everybody says I should be between 20 and 22 minutes, because to get the most of the data in, that's a sweet spot. So that's why I talk too fast. If I could talk I could go a long time. Okay, go through. This is the video list. That our goal probably by the end of the year is to have probably 2,000 subscribers, and I bet the over on that one. All right, go over our video. The point I said is because I want to get better, and Coach and I have been very bullish leading up to this point, coming into the Fed. And you know what tipped our hand is the charts and stocks. Bad news has begun to take positive reactions, and it was started first with the banks. I'll go to the charts in a second. Started with the banks. A couple of FANG stocks came down, but both days when Apple and Amazon and Microsoft and Google respectively were down 4 to 5%, the market took that as a positive and went the other way with it, and took it up the other way. As a matter of fact, it was very rare that Amazon and Microsoft reported the same day, and the market was and was up. That was really amazing to see. In the previous day was also, I believe it was Facebook and Microsoft. And the market took the market was 800 points. Okay, here's our chart in the market. I apologize. Here we go in the macro view, micro view, macro view on the SPX. Listen, I don't know if they're going to take this up and buy it. You know, it's the rule. It's buy the rumor, sell the news into the Fed on Wednesday. But certainly, well, the market's hanging in there today. You know, the FANG stocks gave it up a little bit. The oils took a front seat. Hi, coach. But I'll get to my charts in a second. A lot of good traders here, as the VIX is still way below 30. But as I say that, I will get to this one major point, and it's this. Pardon. Rev said it perfectly. The market risk runs very high heading into the Fed interest rate decision. Okay. The market's been hammered each time and it hoped for less hawkishness, only to be disappointed. You got to keep that in mind. I like stats. I play a lot of stats. I think I'm a good combination of being psychological and statistical. I think that's why it keeps me, as a profitable trader, active trader, competing against algos. So, you said that. Good morning. Coach agrees. So the markets, as I sit here today, or at least Monday morning, early Monday for the open, the US 10-year is hovering around 4%. That's a negative. Okay. We all know, or at least behind the scenes, the economists, the macro guys, and the experts, as I say, the market, the Fed doesn't want the market to have this move up. And I will go to some charts for those that may be new. This is not. The Fed made the mistake of not doing anything from 435, to 345. They don't want it to go up like this because they don't want things to overheat both ways. This is not very good for the Fed. I mean, maybe it seems that maybe earnings or a lot of stuff at Sands, some of the FANG stocks are holding better, the majority of oils, better than the TLT, charting the TLT again, and the UUP, the dollar. So in the SPY, which has come up, if I go back to TradeGATEHub, it's a perfect example of where we are now. Here we are, coming into that channel. So it's yet to be determined if this is the buy the rumor, sell the news, or if the Fed actually wants to, to make that move. But you know what? It's been a horrible time for swing trading, but it's been a good time for follow through. Actually, it has been. The market's been having a lot of up and down days, but the sectors have been, they'll give you an example. Stocks like CF and the ag stocks. These stocks have been holding very well as the market's been doing this. CF has been holding very well. So that's been a stock that's holding, well. Up and down is, Microsoft, yet to be determined. You know what I mean? That's one, like I said, it's one day away or one Fed decision from going to it, testing a low to going through the gap. We've been facing these decisions intermittently throughout this week, throughout this month. I apologize. I also post Monday morning data. I'll heat up in a second. I should start doing videos maybe in the morning because it's at 11 o'clock, everything, sometimes before 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, things change. Pardon. So the 10 years up is around 4%. The DXY got knocked that round to its support. Crude in no man's land, but stocks are breaking out after a couple of poor days. Gold's still chopping around. Stocks are pushing against resistance right here. So it's almost setting up for another binary news. If you're willing to be a little bit early on some stocks that you have your eye on, I would definitely, and I have too. I've taken positions on some stocks. The market goes higher here. Pardon, but beware that you're going to have to. Those trades might turn into positions and vice versa. But there are a lot of cross currents. For example, Fizzler having a beautiful day, almost had earnings to breaking out. But you look at something like EMPH, is still kind of going the other way. Moss, I should go to my charts in a second, breaking out again. I had this DVA long over the weekend. It closed on the lowest volume. And the reason why I took it is because out of experience, I know that this stock, after having a bad day, usually bounces. And here's one right here, bad day bounce. Bad day bounce, bad day bounce. I sold it a little bit too early, but I did buy it in a low. So here's the Vita. Had the double bottom here from yesterday, 69.30. That's why I bought it. Bought it early this morning. And I think the top I sold was 73. So the Vita. So I made a move on volume. The stock had volume range, and as from experience, I know it had that way. By the way, EW did the same thing. Also had a very bad day. They basically go hand in hand. EW I didn't take with that because that one has a tendency to keep going, but it actually was positive at one point today, EW, but it wasn't for me. So you know what? Just as Lewis asked this morning, it's stock picking. You know what I mean? Here's I'll give you an example on my screen right here. I'll share my screen. New share. There's my screen. All right. Here's the SPYs. Here's the Qs. Here's the IWM, TNA, all down. Banks are doing well. Oxy, after a couple of days down, now threatening to break out. Chevron, new highs. Exxon, day delay. Where's Exxon? Day delay breaking out to all-time highs. Shopify, that's so momentum is working to a degree as TTT and Snap are down. Apple's down, Microsoft, Google, but Shopify still having good momentum. Good earnings play. PayPal, Net's up, PayPal's down. AEHR is coming into earnings as AMD and ON Semiconductor going low here at earnings. I bought ON Semiconductor this morning. Hold on. I'll show you where I bought it. Was the new share. And I didn't get fancy. I made a little trade. What I do? Bought a little bit of here. Here's the blue is where I buy. 63.30. Bought some more at 63.30. Sold it at 63.90. Never did what I wanted it to do. Sold it and moved on. It does have a tight range. PDD acting well. LI. Bought that in the morning. It was only one in America buying LI. Automotive. But you know what? Didn't go. And I felt that the market was running. And I went to my old Mike V day trading. I ever thought what they would squeeze or it would go. It was almost in my subconscious. I bought LI, and then I realized what I did, and then I actually sold it. But I guess my instinct worked better because I was pounding the table at 13.30, made 3 cents. Nice trade, Mike V. The stock went freaking $1 from there. But you know what? I'm not mad because I bought it on the wrong principles. I'm glad that still the innate skills are there. But we'll move on. Stocks like PI that had that gap, they sit with it, that power earnings gap. Stock had great volume. Most volumes had probably 5-10 years. Flagged had an earnings gap. Old Mike V with short. Old Mike V. I'm talking like for 1 to 3 to 5 years, not the last 20 and change. And when I say the old Mike V, the ultimate compliment of a stock is when I look at that. I wouldn't listen. I'm not going to put the whammy on it. Maybe a couple of days ago, I wouldn't short it when it was, 108 to 117. That's a difference. But those stocks, the power earnings gaps are what happens. This rum, for some reason, is taking a lot of action. I posted. Pardon. PTD is continuing to act like the best China. Pardon. Roblox, hang in there. Has earnings though. Twilo, nothing. Shopify, General Motors still holding after earnings. SU still building a position in SU in the fund. Everybody knows that. That's apparent. I said 1,000 times SU's in the fund. And you know what? It's actually a laggard when you look at a couple of the other ones, because natural gas makes a big pop today. Although it did come down a little bit. RRC, natural gas, hang in there, swim. But the best of breeds, PXD had earnings on Friday, I believe. So that had it did. So that had a 1 day, maybe people took profits yet to be determined, but it looks pretty good, PXD, because Exxon, ConocoPhillips, everybody was laughing at Warren. There's Oxy, there's Devon, best of breed, and EOG, best of breed. EOG, I wouldn't short it. It's a little toppy and late. You know what I mean? I'll wait for the Fed for confirmation, but the one we like here is SU. Pardon. Royal Caribbean acting very well, still coming up to the 200-day. IBM, I took some short over the weekend just because of the double topper. Here was my trade. IBM, I had it short over the weekend, and I bought it. As you can see, there's no sales. So I came in short IBM over the weekend, 138.72, 138. It was a contra trade, another opinion that you very rarely, if it went against me, I'd hold it. You know what I mean? But I didn't make any. I was doing it to be, to keep sharp. I think I had 600 shares, whatever it might be, but I wanted to play what was going on because I wanted to keep an eye on the Dow stocks. Here's the chart on Caterpillar. Okay, here's the chart on McDonald's still. The Dow had its worst October in history, was it? Let me get back to TradeGATEHub. I posted the stat. So I love stats, but I didn't absorb the stat because I had so many things flushing through my head at the time. Yeah, with one trading day left, the Dow Jones is up 14% on pace for its best month since 1976. All right, that's when a firm won the Triple Crown. So I'm not going to forget that stat. So Caterpillar, McDonald's, Apple, and you can credit Caterpillar, McDonald's, Apple, and Exxon to that. So that's why the Dow is, people are like, huh? But that's why the Dow has done that. So, we'll see, yet to be determined. Seasonality certainly didn't let the Dow down. Pardon. All right, the active trader. Now I'm heating up a little bit. Weekly update, hedge funds, get to know them. Top hedge funds bought more shares in these biotechs. AUPH, I'm a buyer. Once they fire the CEO, I'm a buyer even more. They fired the COO. How am I running on time? All right, I'm good. AUPH. I'm socking this away. The volume came in, pardon me again. Came in. Pardon again, I'm fine. It's a winter. Above the 50-day, which I like. They fired the CFO and the COO. I want them to fire the CEO. I'm going to add to it. It's a fund that it's a stock I like, and I know it. I want to do really clean house, if you will. Kind of like my chest. All right. Worst performing large cap stocks in 2002. Snap, killed. SE, I'm a holder. The only one that I hold here is SE, but not from the high. NIO, DoorDash, Riven. All right. So I'm starting to get back to basics and getting back to old school again because it's been working. I hope I'm not late, if you will, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be in my brain. Keep track of quarterly gap ups on massive volume. Like I said, the gap ups and goes. PI, I mentioned a little while ago. CALX, which I said might be the new leader. Here's Calix. Go to the chart on Calix. I wouldn't short it. Flag. You know what I mean? This thing goes above 75. It's off to the races. It's going to take out a lot of shorts. And it's probably going to, yes, it also has, see it right here? It has the propensity to make that power move. I'm going to have to investigate what happened here at the beginning of 2022. The market got annihilated at the beginning of 2022, right here. So that maybe it's a market pullback. But Calix can certainly be a new best of breed. Go to these market fundamentals. Wingstop, ADM goes with what? Moss and CF. So no surprise. Archer-Daniel Midland would be up there. No, it's an agriculture stock. All right. What else is on this list? And for those that really trade, that have the discipline to only trade purely that way, and I applaud it, very hard to do. After screening some more, here's an updated version. Okay, another gap list. Oh, that was the same list. I had another list. I probably made a point on that. Timas. Yeah, no, it's a different list. Here's some more of them. SLB. I made a nice trade the other day, but it's still bullish. Gilead was the strongest stock in the market on Friday. Now I added Gilead to my screen, as I'll show you in a second if you didn't take a pic. Here's Gilead. Why did I put Gilead on the screen? Okay. Range, volume, major news. It was once, Gilead was it. I don't think it's back a best in breed range, but I'll have to really research why it did it. Obviously, with news. But right here, Gilead could certainly be in 105 within very quickly. So that's on my screen. Gilead. Why shouldn't it be? It shouldn't be. It should be just like this AKRO, which has been one of the best performers in the biotech index. SU, I'm going to add to when I get off here. SU, I'm going to add to, but not that much because I had the Fed on Wednesday, but not that much. Well, one of my mentors would say it's really irrelevant. A strong stock's a strong stock, but this time it might be a little bit different. Okay, earnings for the week. They're not done yet, but we got most of the big daddies. This is the caboose. AMD, Uber, ON reported already. Roku. I don't know. Roku was up $3 this morning. Everybody was chasing it. Here's the chart on Roku. I couldn't understand why. I was looking for news, couldn't find any. Roku this morning, it was up a strong $3 too. Hold on, Roku. Right here. Yeah, fucker. Roku was trading 57.20. Now it's 54. Now it's what? Down. Yeah, 20 cents. I didn't see what, maybe they were buying to it. Maybe they want to scare the shorts and buy into it. I don't know. Roku has news. All right, PayPal, Devon Energy, Fubo, no interest. Qualcomm, I saw a lot of calls going off on Qualcomm. And you know what? Qualcomm, I'm gonna like this into Qualcomm. I might even buy Qualcomm. I may even take a lotto into Qualcomm. A lotto into Qualcomm. And you hanging in there, okay? Marvell hanging in there. I don't know. Texan hanging in there. Am I on the screen? Texan hanging in there. Kinda. They could have blasted that at their next Kramer said sell it. I mean, it's not knock on Kramer. It did say sell it. ADI. All right. I've been mugged. Like we go back to IBM. So you know what? With this, I don't know. With this Qualcomm, is the reason why the first time when I see Qualcomm, and I just know from looking at the major option feeds that there's been calls going off on Qualcomm. And if there weren't calls, I'd go by and I'd just be like, all right, something I have to watch. But Qualcomm did have some calls. Not in it. Not sure if I'm going to go in it, but Qualcomm. Okay. DraftKings, look for a squeeze. Not interested. Royal Caribbean coming right up to the 200 day. Let's see how that acts. That's surprising. You know what? But it's not surprising because look at United Airlines. And look at LUV, just had good earnings the other day, hung in there. Still above the 50-day. That's going to have a move up on, depending upon how crude goes. Crocs, I'll go back. But Crocs I hold in the fund. I'm not going to lie, and I'm let down. I'm let down on Crocs. I don't know what I'm going to do. I should sell it. Matter of fact, I am going to sell the majority of Crocs. Crocs has earnings. The stock I want to buy into the fund too. Square, Coin, big reversal today. Top to bottom, which I posted right before I came on the air. Coin, big reversal as earnings. You know what? Coin, it's Coin. Coin, I coach. Coin could be one of those companies which I sold, which I was buying, that I sold. It could go back to 150. It's like Facebook. I wouldn't feel bad. It's just nobody trusts it. You know what I mean? You might as well go do everything through TradeView anyway. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't, something that I hope it goes, I'm going to trade it actively. I hope it's supposed to have an 18% range. So I'll be in it, trading it. So why even bother taking a shot going into it? I'll trade it after it. Interesting point. Goldman Sachs read the 50-day recapture. Important. That's what the market's, waffling between this 50-day. Hedge fund exposure, they covered a little bit. As Goldman, this is the first time, and you guys should know this, and maybe it's all oil. I don't think so. First time they've been, I would say, positioned over lightly positions. You could see here for the first time now in a year. Now, unless they went all in on Exxon, something's up. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're not on Apple, Microsoft, and Google. But there has been this thought that maybe Apple, or as of Friday, they thought Apple saved the market. But you know what? When the market was down, as all these mega caps were reporting, maybe the mega caps were the sign of the bottom right way. It will be edified, yes or no, this opinion. I'm just saying this is a way to look at it. I'm not playing it like that as it comes up on Wednesday. But, it's certain there's been strength underneath the market, and that's been evidenced by the SPYs. And it's been evidenced in just the price action in general. So, EOG, it is EOG. Breaking high. So, getting back here, Goldman, you know what? And this is a chart on the SPYs, and the market's been acting better in the last year. The Goldman's position here from June 21. So, they're more heavily positioned when the market was over here and here. Than this is where they're positioned, and they were more lightly positioned when the market was here and here. That's a fact. That's how I'm taking it. We'll go right here. Market. So that's how I'm saying. As hedge funds take a little bit off their shorts up, it's still underwater. So keep that in mind, please. Although Goldman now expects the Fed fund rates to peak at 5%, but yet they're pretty well positioned, or more than they have been a year. I don't know what to take that. Maybe I don't know. Credit default swaps acting well now. Boom, breaking that trend line. Gold. We were great. Breaking that trend line. Joba, you there? You got to be there. I know you're there somewhere. There's the wave. S&P, all the sentiment. It's sentiment. It's a tool. Sector sentiment goes along with this. So try to match these up. Crude and gold, maybe something's acting, but you know how to do it by then, guys. If you don't, go back to what we do and press that YouTube button. All the things you should know. I always post this morning. Getting back in today, XPEV is 690. That's why I bought LI again subconsciously. PBR, sold it in the fund. Thank God. Look at PBR. Now, what are you supposed to do here? Okay. PBR, unless you're believing triple tops, they usually go, you know what I mean? 16 to 12. They're looking huge. You just turn around. Maybe we'll buy it again. But I know the elections happen. I know it. I get it. I know there were extraneous circumstances, geopolitical, futures ripping. Let's bum watch something. What do I sell it or buy it? Okay. All right, a couple of things here before I get to before I get to the wise guys are doing and everything like else. Okay. It's very confusing. Like I said, Fizzler's up 8, Fizzler's up 10, EMPH down 8. Here's a picture of my screen. I'll give you a picture of my screen in a second, and we'll go to what's going on right now, right here. Spies, I believe, are at the high of the day. We'll share right here. Chart and spies, high of the day, 389. Apple still low. Roku went positive. Shop still hanging in there. Net. So as I said, Fizzler's up 12, EMPH, SPWR acting well, not interested. The beta, rum, this stock is having some option play. So I'll just go right here. Go back. Spies 389. What's breaking high? Twitter, right here. Following. Share. Twitter. Somebody's trying to break in. MJ bullish, cannabis, CGC. So they're taking up some cannabis stocks. Are they? Yes, they are. MSOS is, oh, yes, they are. This is what it's happening. MSOS, I have to read the news. Something always happens when I'm on. So this is what MSOS did. Okay. MSOS, 1029, CGC, cannabis, 315 to 3. This is a big move. MJ, Michael Jordan, 525 to 550. What's the news? I'll look in a second. So Tilray, the squeezer. So cannabis moves making a move. Good. It's okay. Coach will be happy. Coach will be happy. All right, new share. Let's look what else they're doing besides cannabis. Airbnb, Airbnb, the dollar, wave, US dollar coming to a short resistance. SPY bullish, Meta bullish. We're in that. Earnings, swing, SPY, nothing too interesting. The only clean action resembling his new name is buying HLX. 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 All right, they're buying it. Really, you know, there's option play. HLX. This is what I see with HLX. So obviously they're playing momentum. HLX. Helix Energy. Stock's gone from 480 to 695. Look at the weekly. All right, we buy on dips now. Has a tendency. It's got 30 in it, so we'll keep it online, especially when they're buying the calls. But when I see calls, I'll look now. What type of calls they buying? Helix. I'll look into a segment. Or otherwise, it's just weekly. So they're going more long term than some weekly calls in other stocks. But Helix is the one that's going out. Shop bullish. They're playing the squeeze. CVS. I was short that this morning. Covered it. CVS. Uber calls into earnings. RVLV. The squeezing RVLV. Real. I'm squeezing some of these small stocks like RVLV and SFIX. Look at Wayfair. Wayfair making a move. Rum. More calls on rum. Cool symbol. Cool symbol on rum. Amazon bullish, RVLV, that points to Stitch Fix. So Amazon, maybe I'll buy some Amazon. Yeah. Shopify going still. Something's going on. Rite Aid, I'm in that. CVS, RVLV, rum, Amazon, rum, go, big guys, two-sided flow. All right, that's it. Anybody else giving me any info? I hope this is not being redundant. I got a split. Okay, wise guys. We'll go right here. New highs. All you should be worried about as I sign off is this. as of now is 11:30, so you don't get in trouble. Up high and relative volume, FDWY. Yeah, they are GameStop, they're squeezing. Win, we have that. AMC, so they're taking up a couple of the Fizzler. Have at the time at the new high. Kern, a marijuana stock. Wayfair pointed up. SPWR going with Fizzler. Nikola, they're taking up the batteries. NU batteries. No, NU is payments. Riven. All right, I got it going. There's some action. Riven and Ripping. Riven actually looks good now. Look at the Riven. I got to take Riven seriously now. There's the Riven chart. Might even get the highlighter, coach. Riven. What's moving up now? This is interesting. Actually, it's 11:30. It's kind of getting interesting today. Zendesk, Acor, NU, Redfin, Wayfair. So where's Zillow? Do we have time for Zillow? No, we don't like Zillow. SPWR, Ford, Nikola, Lucid. So they're going to third. Batteries, Lucid, Nikola, Bristol. So batteries and cannabis. Not bad. They move, right? Down on high volume is the market's going the other way. So what's going down is the Intel giving it all back. Poor Intel, gave a lot back. Para, oh my God, Lewis. Newell, ON still near the low. ON is still near the low. No interest in it. EA, CD, Docs, Coin, big reversal on Coin. Coin was up nicely today. I'm going to leave it that with the Coin. So I didn't look at Bitcoin, but I did look at the Coin. Coin was up nice. Look at Coin's chart. Coin was 74.70. 68. It's freaking $6. It's a big move for that thing. Now below the moving averages. All right. As we leave off, I'll leave there. Any questions, anyone? All right. Cheers, everyone. Always leave any questions, comments, complaints. We welcome everything. We're not perfect, but like they say on pardon the interruption, ESPN, we'll try to do better again tomorrow. So it's only Wednesday. Get your earnings list back. Get what's stocks are moving with good price action, good volume and range. Keep in mind the Fed on Wednesday. And until then, be tactical, have a plan, and have a plan before you go in something, not after it happens. You know what I mean? Wheat. I know, Coach Bravo with the wheat call. I'm in. That's why ADM is going the way it is. ADM is wheat. Right? Wheat. Let's look at ADM before we sign off. ADM, Archer Daniels and Daddy, Big Daddy, CF. Paulson. So ADM's the one. Las Vegas. Wynn's still making a good move. We'll leave. All right, cheers. I gotta go.